Hi, I'm Ron Carter. The film we're about to see, Blue Note, A Story of Modern Jazz, is not just about jazz, but takes its cue from the art form it surveys. Combining structure with freedom from restraint, this freeform documentary tells the story of Blue Note Records, a unique record company that helped introduce the world to the one truly American art form, jazz. Blue Note was founded in New York in 1939 by Alfred Lyne. Together with his friend Francis Wolff, they built the most influential jazz label of all time. What made Blue Note unique was their heartfelt commitment to the one and only thing for them, the music. Based on Alfred and Frank's love for jazz and their dedication to its artists, Blue Note would help write the history of music for the next 3 decades. Julian Benedict's film on Blue Note, much like the record company portrays, focuses on the music and its people. Here's part 1 of Blue Note, a story of modern jazz.
This is the story of Alfred Lyne and Francis Wolff, two German immigrants who founded a jazz record company in 1939 that became very famous in its genre. Unlike any other jazz label, Blue Note Records influenced the evolution of music in sound, style, and technical standards. Each of the Blue Note recording sessions was documented by the photographs of Francis Wolff. Alfred Lyne's vision of music and Francis Wolff's clear view of the recording sessions are a legacy of a unique creative achievement that continues to this very day.
Hello there, this is Freddie Hubbard, trumpet man. Blue Note, Alfred Lyne and Frank Wolff. I'm in.
He realized that he was a catalyst, a walking, living, human catalyst. You get him near an artist like Thelonious Monk or Bud Powell, and he instinctively knew that they had it down deep, and he could draw that ability out of them and get it on a record. And he did it by not talking about record sales and commercialism and who the big names on a date. He never got into that. He was interested in you and your thoughts and getting you to have an unrestricted flow of your ideas in his recordings. Not many people have that. And he never made a mistake. Out of over 1,000 records that Alfred produced in the years that he had Blue Note, easily 950 of them are classics.
I'm Herbie Hancock, and I'm a musician,
Oh, boy.
a jazz musician.
When I was a child, it was like you had to go listen. When I first came to San Francisco, Lee Morgan, Sidewinder, and Horace Silver, Song for My Father, and Song for My Father.
And so the music was like a diary of what was going on.
My name is Horace Silver, and I've recorded for the Blue Note record label for about 28 years. For Alfred Lyne and Frank Wolff.
And on, Wayne Shorters and Herbie Hancock and all the people who recorded on Blue Note, they would play on the radio along with Willie Nelson or Chuck Berry.
Sonny Rollins Trio.
Un poco loco from Bud Powell.
Un Poco Loco from Bud Powell.
Yeah, Un Poco Loco.
Johnny Griffin. Johnny Griffin.
I am authentic. John Arnold Griffin III.
Pour moi, ce qui est marrant, c'était Blue Note était lié au saxophoniste.
Otherwise known as Volcano, Vesuvius, or the Little Giant. Alfred wanted to do was go there knowing that the musicians had rehearsed for the date, that he had put together what he thought was the best combination of players for this band leader, whoever that was. And during the course of the date, there'd be something he could relate to like this. And by and large, all those sections of music recorded, somewhere on the record there was some real swing going on. Even in the ballads, there was a Ike Quebec kind of ballad, you know, or a Sam Rivers kind of ballad. There was some swing going on there. That was Alfred's concern.
You know what they recognized? They could recognize when something was grooving and when it wasn't.
The band must swing.
They couldn't dance. They both had 2 left feet.
We must have swinging.
If something was grooving, you know, Frank would, he would start doing his little 2-step thing. You know, and if he wasn't doing his dance, it wasn't grooving.
Yes. Eh bien, je m'appelle Maurice Culas, je suis français. Ça m'a beaucoup marqué, parce que j'ai dit, c'est curieux, cette musique, c'est une musique qui n'est pas du tout comme la nôtre. Il y a le blues dedans, il y a le sentiment de blues. Really, oh, what can happen?
I knew it from the beginning. When I first saw Alfred, I was disc jockey on WOV in New York. And I walked into this place where I worked, and he was sitting there eating a hot sausage sandwich. And I said, there's my life. And he wouldn't look at me hardly for 11 years. 11 years, that was what he was doing, was that Blue Note. And it hurt, because I knew, you know. But I spoke with a lot of musicians about it. Women will not be ever as important as the music. And if a woman thinks she can, she's kidding herself, because a guy who really loves the music, that's where he's going to be. And she can help him and be with him and enjoy him and everything, but she's not going to have maybe a certain thing that she's looking for. But I have to tell you this personally, that when Alfred would kind of understand that somebody was absolutely nuts about him, and then he put his arms around me, and then he'd say, oh, you fell into the lake. That's what he meant, was that I was turned on. And of course he was turned on, but it was that mine was forever, and his was, you know, he liked the music, which was wonderful.
Alfred had a very unique situation. He had complete autonomy because it was a small label. There were no A&R men. There was no art department. There was no shipping department. There was Alfred and Frank. That was it. When he needed an engineer, he went over to Rudy's place. When he needed an artist, he picked up the phone and called him. If he needed his accounting done, he hired an accountant, you know. But Alfred made the decisions. And what you're witnessing in those 1,000-odd records that Alfred made is one man's personal taste, his idea of what he thought was right and true.
He was so driven by artists he heard, and even when he first recorded Bud Powell, or later when he recorded Herbie Hancock, I mean, these were unknown musicians, but he heard something that excited him, and he could not record them. There was absolutely no financial consideration in what he did. He recorded what he felt and what he loved, and some of it sold a lot, and a lot of it sold nothing. But we owe him a great debt for the music he documented, which is some of the music that is still being used as a model, a young artist.
Están ustedes viendo Blue Note, la historia del jazz moderno, la historia de la leyenda de esta gran expresión artística.
I think that, Blue Note is going through, it seems to have gone through some really interesting changes recently. There's been more of a concentration on vocalists, and maybe it's following a certain trend in the music. There was a time when the vocalists imitated the instrumentalists, and now perhaps we're getting to, once again, in a cycle, getting to a point in the music where the instrumentalists are listening to the vocalists. Come on, let me take away your physicality. You see that momentary breathless feels like it is. There's somebody here forgiving us. Oh, what a little warm that from her, little warm that we get tonight. Standing on with mercies of the moon. Can shine so brightly that foolish she can see. Now I can see you much more clearly. I can hardly wait to feel you moving through my world. Blue Note just is here at this time, and it sees that trend, and it's all a result of the specific kind of insight that the people that work with Blue Note have. Why they have that kind of insight, I don't know. Who knows?
Berlin war ja damals ein multikulturelles Zentrum erster Klasse, muss man sagen. Ich erinnere mich als Schüler, als 12-, 13-Jähriger, wir fuhren da nach Berlin zum Theater der Höheren Schulen und wenn wir Zeit hatten, büchsten wir aus. Vor allen Dingen wollten wir am Potsdamer Platz in das berühmte Warenhaus Wertheim, diesen herrlichen Messelbau. Da bin ich zum ersten Mal in meinem Leben Fahrstuhl gefahren. Meine Freunde haben mich da reingestoßen, ich habe gar nicht gemacht. Der Fahrstuhl ging hoch und ich war so durcheinander, körperlich, dass ich Nasenbluten bekam. Mir schoss das Blut aus der Nase.
Ein unerhörtes Flair. Es war ja auch alles da, was also an würde ich mal sagen, Prominenz, egal in welcher Sparte, das war ja hier. War alles da. Berlin war die Stadt.
Nicht nur der Film, nein, das in der Literatur brodelte es. Die Kunst, die bildende Kunst, Die Theater waren voll, die erstklassigsten deutschen Stars spielten dort. Aber für die große Masse war natürlich der Film das entscheidende Medium. Und dem Kino behielt man auch die Treue nach 1933. Ganze Kunst und Kultur gestottert und Kopisten, Fußballisten, Dareks und so weiter. Ich sehe rassisch gegründet noch
Da waren schon immer die SA-Leute, die geschrien haben, Heil Hitler, Juda verrecke, Deutschland erwache und so weiter. Das war ziemlich scheußlich zu sehen, hat mich aber nicht weiter in dem Sinne gestört oder befremdet.
Es war zu viel Krampf und auch zu viel Gewalt. Und Gewalt ist etwas, was kein Flair verträgt. Das zerstäubt, das ist weg.
Das kam dann eben erst, als die Nazis wirklich am Ruder waren und der Reichstag gebrannt hat und ich in München Student war. Da laufen doch in meiner Straße da 3 Kerle rum mit einer Armbinde, mit einem Hakenkreuz und einem Gewehr auf. Die patrouillieren da auf und ab. Was machen die da, diese Idioten? Darauf wurde der ganz blass und sagte, um Gottes Willen, das darfst du doch nicht laut sagen, da wirst du doch eingesperrt. Und ich habe einfach die Luft da nicht atmen können.
When Hitler arrived on the scene, Alfred disappeared because he was smart and he knew there was trouble abroad. And so he left. He came to this country, he barely spoke English. He was alone and he was self-sufficient and he struggled, but he was terrific. He brought Frank over later, after he had arrived here.
Die ganzen Musiker, die zum Teil durch Hitlers Verhalten, so dass sie persönlich verfolgt wurden, ihre Werke nicht mehr aufgeführt wurden, Komponisten, deren Musik verboten war, Schriftsteller, deren Bücher verbrannt wurden, und diese Leute kamen alle hierher, und Arnold Schönberg natürlich, Paul Hindemith, die ich alle kennenlernte. Kurt Weill kannte ich sehr gut. Und dann in der Literatur natürlich Franz Werfel. Und alle kamen, so wie ich, mit 10 Mark, hatten überhaupt kein Geld.
Die Figur des Jazz, der Blues, ist ja im Grunde nichts anderes als die Trauer über die verlorene Heimat. Und im Blues ist die Heimat da. Und vielleicht ist bei allen Experimenten, bei allen Versuchen, die auch dokumentiert sind im Blue Note Label, doch die heimliche Vorliebe für den gestandenen Blues einer der Spuren, die unmittelbar zurückverweisen auf Alfred Dion.
The Negro, with the trumpet at his lips, has a head of vibrant hair, ting, down, down, patent-leather now, until it gleams like jet, or a jet crown. The music from the trumpet at his lips is honey mixed with liquid fire. The rhythm from the trumpet at his lips is ecstasy, distilled with more desire. Desire that is longing for the moon, where the moonlight's but a spotlight in its eye. Desire that is longing for the sea, where the sea's bar-glass suckers eye. The Negro, with the trumpet at his lips, whose jacket has a fine one-button roll, does not know upon what wrist the music slipped its hypodermic needle to his soul. But softly, as the tune comes from his throat, troubled, mellow, in a golden note,
dieser Mann, der da aus Berlin kam, in den 20er Jahren Sam Wooding gehört hatte und der dann nun diese große, wichtige Plattenfirma gegründet hatte.
First, I believe he recorded what he liked were sort of his first groups that represented kind of a modernist approach in the Meade Lux Lewis Celeste Quartet. It wasn't until he really, was able to develop a following with the label that he could take a chance on modern music.
Der erste große Independent-Hit, den es im Jazz gab, war dieser Blue Note-Hit von Summertime von Sidney Bechet.
This is the original recording, original pressing, Sidney Bechet Summertime in 1940. This was their first hit. This is what created the cash flow that allowed Blue Note to continue.
It was like blood, like water, like air, I mean.
Freddie Hubbard. Clifford Brown. I don't know that Alfred was an everyday garden variety German.
Unadulterated, undiluted, pure, the real deal is all Alfred Lyons and Frank Wolf were interested in.
Well, I mean, every piano player I know sat down and tried to. I know.
Come on, everybody.
Come in here and swing.
Everybody, come on, everybody.
Come in here and swing. Quintet, no problem. Thank you for calling. Bye.
Hello, Vanguard. Can I help you? Yes, Ron Carter will be here 2 shows, 9:30 and 11:30. Yes, you may, sir. Hold on one moment, please. Wait a minute, 9:30 or 11:30? 11:30, okay, 2 people. And Monaco, M-O-N-A-C-O. Spell. That's what I said, Monaco. Very good, sir. So come at 11 o'clock. Thank you. When you come to the door, they'll seat you. They'll give you the best seat in the house. Okay? Bye. Luckily, I don't see people. Anyway, there we are in New York at our apartment, which was kind of cute, right down here in the village. Yeah, everyone's young once in a while. You get one chance of being young. Yes, I was young. I was about 17 or 18 when I met Alfred. But I used to listen to his records on the radio. I didn't know who he was. Alfred had called me once, and he had an office, and he invited me up, and I did go. I brought a friend with me. We had to go to their apartment. There was nothing to eat. 2 eggs in the fridge. We cooked up the eggs, a little bread, a little cheese on the side. They didn't have any money. They were very poor. Anyway, the war came, and Alfred got drafted. And then he got shipped to Texas, El Paso. And of course, Alfred kept writing to me, come to Texas. And my mother thought he was wonderful, by the way. She says, he's a wonderful guy. So she gave me a big party and packed up my little valise, my first airplane ride. I'd never been on a plane. I was so sick on that plane. It was terrible. Anyway, there we were in El Paso, Texas, and Alfred and I got married. And there's a little notice from the newspaper at the base where he was stationed that Alfred Lyon married Lorraine. Oh, well, when his mother heard that her darling son, her only child, Alfred, was getting married, he was a bachelor all these years. She was thrilled. And she came to this country and I met her, Margarita. There's Alfred there. That's a test pressing of a Blue Note record. See, we used to get them from New York and we would listen to them in El Paso. The record business was still in his mind and life, even though he was in the Army. And here's Alfred and Frank. See, they were very good friends. Right, then there's Frank and me. I didn't know how close we were going to be. And there's Alfred and I. We had this crazy cat. We called it Victor because we got him on VE Day at the end of the war. The cat was like my kid, I really wanted children, but I had a cat. It wasn't a terrible split up, for that matter, because we liked each other an awful lot, and Alfred loved me, and I was terribly fond of him. But the reasons are obscure, and as I say, I don't intend to discuss my deepest personal life now. Now it was too late. Yes, Alfred. Sorry. Vanguard. Hello. No, same person. I just talked to you before. I'll see you later. I don't know who it is. There's some strange people call.
My name is Ron Carter.
And I'm Bobby Hutcherson. Joe Chambers.
Blue Note helped me through some years. My kids were young. I was trying to establish myself in New York, just generally. And so it came at a great time. And it was with a lot of great musicians. So it was people that I didn't really work in their groups, but just to know them. I mean, I'm sitting back like people looking, saying, well, I played with Tommy. I mean, that was an honor. You know, come on, that was, so it was just an honor to be here. And I was a young bass player, and it fed my kids. You knew you were not going to leave until that record date was through.
Yeah.
If we had 8 tunes or 9 tunes, say, come on, let's get these 9 tunes. Let's get these 9 tunes in and get out of here so I could go spend that check. You know, let me go cash the check. I mean, everything will be closed if we don't hurry. You know. And we would all go to a drugstore on 50 in Broadway.
That's correct.
That used to cash checks. Because he paid us in checks. And we used to go and cash our checks. And for a long time,
See you, Bob.
that was it was really my survival.
Actually, I was about 20 when I met him. And we got together. But Alfred, he always came around to the jam session, you know. And I was working, at the time I was practicing with Gold Train. And I was practicing with Wayne Shorter. So we kind of hooked up, you know, with the music. So what was so great about Alfred was that Alfred, he would talk to you about what you wanted to do, the concept of what you were writing. And he gave a lot of young people an opportunity to experiment and write something different. You know, it's not like it is today when the record companies will more or less tell you what is marketable and what's sellable. So you end up writing something that's not necessarily coming from your heart. During those years at Blue Note, that period was a very creative period for me. After listening to all these albums of people like Art Blakey, Sonny Rollins, and to get an opportunity to meet these great people and not only perform with them, but hang out and study, that was the thrill of my life. And Alfred was very responsible for all that. He was funny. He would come to the session, he said, Freddie, it's not groovy. I said, what do you mean it's not groovy?
If you were swinging, he wouldn't say a word.
No.
But if
you
you
were.
start bogging down, hey. Yeah.
He really loved the music, man, and I'll never forget him. And when I got my first check, I'll never forget, I bought 2 nice new suits, and I bought a car, and but that's just part of it, you know.
They knew when it wasn't happening. I mean, if it didn't feel good, it had to feel good. I mean, it had to have a direction. That I understood about them. I used to laugh because the beat was 2 and 4, and they would be popping on 1 and 3, but they knew.
But they knew when we were going down.
That it didn't feel good.
You could tell when it was starting to gel and come together, because pretty soon little smiles would creep across their faces. And when it got this wide, it means things are really popping now, man. He's going for take number 1.
Quédense con nosotros, ya que el pasado cobra vida con los legendarios artistas que nos brindan sus ritmos llenos de soul en Blue Note, la historia del jazz moderno.
When him and Alfred came up when we were working with Lou at Minton's. You was up there almost every night.
Yeah. They'd be in the place a lot of times. You wouldn't even know they were there.
That's true.
Unless you look around, you just looking around the place. Oh, there's Al over there.
Yeah.
He sit back lamping and listening.
Yeah, Minton's Playhouse. Both of them. Oh, that was some good times up there. Every soul and his brother came up there.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys up there.
Yeah.
There in Paradise.
Yes, right.
Big Nick.
Big Nick, yes.
Yeah. Everybody used to come to those sessions. You know. Hey, well, man, you just name it. They were there.
That's correct.
Every night. You know, there would be something very interesting that will hold your attention.
True.
Every night.
True.
7 nights a week. The school that I came from, when Charlie Parker dismissed me, the business itself was controlled by whites. If you wanted a gig or a job or whatever, it was in the white places that you worked. Only places that were controlled by blacks were the clubs in Harlem prior to just about the end of the Second World War. And things became integrated. Other than that, Small's Paradise and New Orleans and Minton's, these were all run by blacks.
Club was opened a very long time ago. It's called Small's Paradise. And it was reopened about 12 years ago. It lasted for probably about 5 years and then it closed down again. A lot of great players came up here and played.
Historically speaking, the music always was held in high esteem in black communities. Hence, from Jelly Roll Morton on up into Louis Armstrong and on up into Sidney Bechet and everybody else, the music was really, in the black community, always prevailed. Al Lyons and them came into it because it was fertile, it was popular, and we had all the clubs uptown. It wasn't, and we used to, New York and all the cities were separated. There was White Town and Black Town. And Black Town was where black music was played.
Well, this is the home of bebop. This is the bebop laboratory. And all of the great jazz musicians of the 1940s performed here. Thelonious Monk, Max Roach, Miles Davis, Charlie Parker. And it was just the home of the beginning of the music, where they experimented with new ideas and talked things out and worked on new songs, the ones that became classics. And this is where it began, 118th at Minton. The place. Okay, this is the marquee for the Renaissance Theater, and it was another famous theater in Harlem that all that's left is the sign.
Art Tatum and Garner, pianist, and Teddy Wilson and Billie Holiday. That was the order of the day during that period. And so, but they were on the fringes with these young people who were really creating, who most people said, well, yeah, they were, in fact, Monk was a sideman, Coleman Hawkins, and he was writing all this wonderful music, but no one was really paying that much attention, excepting Al Lyons. They seemed to be, in a way, visionaries. They saw something in these musicians in the future. And so their vision of Holmes hanging in there I think, paid off historically, musically, and creatively.
Monk was a pianist who worked in Harlem. The only claim to fame he had was, I think he wrote Round Midnight for Cootie Williams in 1941, and Cootie Williams paid him a few bucks and put his name on it. I've heard that story. I presume it's true. But it was Alfred. He had his monthly budget to do an album, and the choice came down to Bud Powell or Thelonious Monk. And all of Alfred's friends said, well, Bud Powell, you got to record Bud Powell. He really has a lot of technique, and he's really a pianist. And Monk, I mean, nobody knows what he's doing. He writes these weird compositions, and he doesn't play technical piano. So Alfred's probably the only man in the world that would have made the decision to record Thelonious Monk. But when I heard Epistrophe and Off Minor and Thelonious and 4 and 1 and Arenal and all these things that Monk wrote, I mean, I realized that a revolution was happening here. This is a man who doesn't think like any other musician in all of musical history, let alone jazz. And Alfred had that good sense, not after the fact, but before the fact, before anyone else recognized his abilities to get in there and record it.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I'm a lifetime Blue Note fan. Nice to see you.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, we have something special down here at Birdland this evening, a recording of Blue Note Records. When you applaud for the different passages, your hand goes right over the records there, so when they play them over and over throughout the country, you may be someplace and say, well, that's my hand on one of those records that I dug down at Birdland. We're bringing back to the bandstand at this time, ladies and gentlemen, the great Art Blakey and his wonderful group featuring the new trumpet sensation, Clifford Brown, Horace Silver on piano, Lou Dawson on alto, Curly Russell is on bass. And let's get together and bring Art Blakey to the bandstand with a great big round of applause. How about a big hand now for Art Blakey? Thank y'all.
The quintet, a basketball team is quite similar to a jazz quintet, you know, with the fact that the solo goes from one person to the other, and the whole object of basketball is to move the ball. Common theme, different approaches to the common theme. The whole idea of having a game plan and sticking to it and winning by way of your game plan. It all has to do with, it all relates to rather the same way that harmony and melody and rhythm are combined by a team of people and made into something artistic.
Most of the guys were great, but they weren't being exposed to the world. So when Alfred Lyons come in, and he gave an opportunity to be put on the wax and sell all over the world, that was good for musicians. But he used to hang with Monk, used to hang with Miles. If you can hang with people like that, it's pretty good. And I couldn't be mad with him, but he was on a different level, like it's us business. But Alfred Lyons used to come and get me, said, Freddie, let's go over and hear Philly Joe. So we get in the car and go hear Philly Joe. Even before I met these great people.
Everyone sounded different. No one was trying to play like anybody else, you know. Everybody was writing music.
So there was so much energy and things being born, so many seeds being sown at the time that for someone to come along later and 30 years later and to be able to completely understand that, it would be very, very hard.
Look at the hat.
Who do we have here?
Mighty golden face.
Who do we have here? Tell the time show. Easy, other night.
Told me about you talking to her. Yeah, I'm on the case with the younger players. Gotta get it going.
It's still there. He won't budge.
My name is Louis A. Donald, better known to jazz fans as Lou Donald.
Ces gens-là avaient pressenti qui seraient effectivement les leaders, les grands maîtres de cette musique, et ils ne se sont pas trompés. Alors le bon goût d'Alfred Lyon et de Francis Wolff ne sera jamais discuté effectivement, puisque le moins qu'on puisse dire, c'est qu'ils ont toujours fait les choix les plus excellents, et quelquefois même des choix troublants, parce que si nous pensons par exemple à Herbie Nichols, ou si nous pensons à Sonny Clark, et bien sûr à Bud Powell, qui est extrêmement discuté à l'époque, il ne faut pas l'oublier, ou Thelonious Monk ultérieurement, eh bien, il faut quand même réaliser que ces gens étaient extrêmement courageux, extrêmement... je sais pas, ils avaient le sens du futur.
I think they were totally involved with the sound of the records they wanted to make and the music they wanted to record and let people hear it. It was, I think, one word that would describe it was they wanted to communicate that music to other people. Everything was directed to that.
Et un soir au Birdland, Bud avait éclipsé tout le monde. Charlie Parker était là, Fats Navarro, Max Roach. Il les a éclipsés au point que les musiciens ont dû quitter la scène. Tellement Bud faisait de musique et tellement Bud était exceptionnel. Et puis à un moment donné, il s'est passé un phénomène tout à fait étrange. Bud était vraiment monté très très haut et subitement, ses doigts se sont détachés du piano. Il a continué de jouer, mais sans plus émettre aucun son. Bon, Bud était capable effectivement de faire quelquefois des choses un petit peu étranges comme cela et qui avaient défrayé la chronique aux États-Unis. À ce moment-là, évidemment, le public s'en est inquiété. Le manager, Oscar Boustin, est arrivé, il est venu voir ce qui se passait. Bud était selon lui en train de jouer un tour, une fois de plus, au public. Et à ce moment-là, les deux videurs, les deux personnages qui se trouvaient au fond de la porte, deux colosses, sont arrivés, ont arraché Bud du piano. Bien sûr, Bud s'est débattu, ils lui ont fait traverser le Berland devant la clientèle un petit peu affolée. Et puis ces deux personnages, sur le bord de la porte, ont balancé Bud une fois, deux fois, trois fois et l'ont jeté sur le trottoir, juste au moment où Alfred Lyon arrivait. Il était dans le club, il avait vu la scène, il s'est douté de ce qui allait se passer, il s'est précipité. Donc Bud a été jeté comme une bête, comme ça, comme un objet, comme un paquet de linge sale sur le trottoir. Et Bud, pris de peur, évidemment, s'est sauvé et s'est caché sous une voiture. Et comme me le disait Alfred, il s'est caché comme un chat. Il est rentré sous une voiture et il s'est précipité là-dessous, on ne le voyait plus. Et il a essayé pendant une demi-heure, en l'appelant doucement, gentiment, en disant « Bud, je t'en supplie, sors de sous cette voiture, ne reste pas là, on va partir ensemble, on va aller à la maison. » Et finalement, après une demi-heure, il a réussi à obtenir que Bud sorte. Et Alfred a donc ramené Bud chez lui, il lui a fait prendre un bain, il l'a fait manger, il lui a dit Bud, tu vas rester à la maison, et tu vas coucher là, je vais te préparer un lit, etc.
Bodies bouncing constantly is consuming a bomb diggy to your city bound.